Oh, man. It's been an interesting couple weeks here. For those of you that are reaching out, still commenting on the last video, thank you guys so much for just asking where I've been. But for those of you that I've told, I got hit with the damn bioweapon. Now, some people call it the bioweapon. Some people call it the COVID. Some people say the American-funded Chinese Communist Party released bioweapon as well. Well, I got it, and I'm pretty jacked about it. I was pretty pissed. I went 2 full years as a pureblood, and I didn't get any of that government juice. But I want to tell you this. I am a survivor, and I'm proud of it. And I'm one of the 98% of the statistics now that survived this. Government's been telling everybody, and the CDC's been, scaring everyone into getting that. Can't say it because I don't want to be suppressed any more than I already am on the show here. But I got it. And the first 2 days actually whooped my butt. I'm not going to waste anybody's time to tell you about it. But it made me rethink a lot of things. And the first thing was, I couldn't even move. I was like, oh my goodness, sweetie, I think I got this virus. I'm looking at all the symptoms and all my vaccinated friends who got breakthrough cases and were telling me what they were feeling. I was getting hit with the same symptoms. So I was like, oh man, we should probably get a test. So my wife goes out, being the best caretaker she is. She goes out, buys me a test that comes home, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's a cool little box. Let me look at the back of it to see where it's made. And guess where the heck it's made? China. So there's a couple theories of the lab leak theories that, it's a pretty damn good theory. It's just the American mainstream media and the cronies that are bought and paid for by the Chinese Communist Party that are in the House and the Senate here. They've suppressed the hell out of that, and they won't set up anything to look into that, and they've been keeping it pretty quiet since it all happened. The only one who was saying it was the Orange Man Bad himself, and they shoot him out of town quicker than a cow outside the pasture, I guess. So I started looking at everything, and I was questioning this from the beginning too. Every time I'd go into, say, Costco, for example, I always get a fresh mask because they're always handing out the fear masks here on the left coast. And I say, hey, excuse me, can you give me that box real quick? I want to check the country of origin of this. And they're like, someone's challenging the narrative. How do we act? So I looked. I said, China, holy smokes, why am I putting this thing on my face? And they were like, oh my gosh. I almost set off the insensitivity alarm there. But the fact of the matter is, it's coming from China. All of these things are coming from China. When do we question the fact that if this did come from China, why are they benefiting from all this? They're making the tests, they're making the masks, they're making everything else, they're making the medications. And I think you have to think, now we have to really start challenging the narrative of all this, because the bought and paid for. Soon I pulled this report from the Senate, and it says about the Biden family corruption. And there's a lot of corruption that puts the Biden family into Beijing. And it's kind of interesting that this is still going on, but they're benefiting a lot from that. But I think the most thing that really made me mad is the lack of treatment for this. So the government juice is the only thing that this pathetic administration and the CDC has been pushing. Get your booster. Get your first shot, second shot, third shot, 8 shot. Just follow us. Just do this. But there's many other treatments that everyone knows about. Even the founder of whoever created the vaccine, he came out and said, hey, there's some other treatments we could do. Well, Governor Ron DeSantis in Florida was doing these monoclonal antibody treatments and allowing doctors to prescribe hydrochloroquine. And these are names that are shunned upon. Only conspiracy theorists have been talking about this. But my friend's mom brought up the other day, she's an anomaly right now. We were all talking. We're at the table the other day, and I said, Miss Susie, how the heck are you the only one who hasn't got hit with this bioweapon? And she goes, I don't know, this and that. And we started talking, and then we would go down the rabbit hole. I find out she's been taking this medication for one of her autoimmune diseases. And I said, well, what the heck is the medication? How long have you been taking it? She goes, I've been taking it for the past 20 years. I said, holy smokes. I said, what is it? She goes, it's like hydrochloroquine or something. I said, oh my goodness. I found out why she's the bionic woman here and is beating everyone else. Everyone else is getting breakthrough cases. She's over there having a good old time. She's taking hydrochloroquine. So moral of the story is the government's been suppressing these treatments in order to push Big Pharma's push for the vaccine, etc. And that made me think about, there's a lot of shady stuff going on. I think it's time for us, well, now that I'm a 98 percentile survivor of the thing, I have natural immunity for at least the next 6 months to a year. And there's many studies out there that show that. There was one in the beginning. Israel's a good thing for this study because they force their whole entire population to have all these things. They're pretty, I guess I would say that's pretty tyrannical over there too. But it's good to see the scientific evidence from these things. So they pushed out this study that showed if you do get COVID and you get these natural antibodies now that are up to 17 times stronger than anything out on the market right now. So I'm feeling pretty strong and I'm feeling pretty confident now. Anywhere I go, I got a nice suit of armor on here. But I want to segue into the last part, is the fact that I was very fortunate to have my wife take care of me in the beginning part of that bioweapon aspect. But what about the people that don't have anybody to take care of them? And the only ones that you get this and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do besides just sit here and potentially die from it because our administration is such a corrupt cesspool right now. They're only pushing one thing, the government juice. And I'm not going to get the government juice now because I got the virus. So what can I do? There's nothing out there because they've suppressed information. They've made doctors and nurses not allowed to talk about anything or even go against. They can't even be doctors now and prescribe anything because the administration was shutting down therapeutics in the name of Big Pharma, or in the name of I guess they were just being afraid of being wrong. So I think about the elderly. I think about the people that don't have anyone to take care of them. And a lot of them are dying because they're stuck in isolation. You literally have no energy when you get this thing. It affects everyone differently. It is man-made here. But when I had it, I didn't have any energy to anything. I couldn't eat. I couldn't even move. All I wanted to do was lay down. Think about the detrimental effects that does to your body. Well, think about the detrimental effects it does to people that are forced to be locked up or duped into the scaredness, like the elderly in this country. What the science community, or I guess the deep state science community and the deep state of the American political system right now, what they have done to the American people, I can view it, personally, I say it's a crime against humanity. We all need to start standing up and challenging this narrative. And the Canadians are doing it right now. Of all people, the Canadians are standing up. And now Americans are trying to hop on the train, and they're doing all these protests as well, which I'm all for. But hey, a day late and $1 short. We should have been doing this the moment they said, hey, you got to slap a mask on your face. Because the bigger picture of, besides information and science that you can look up, the bigger picture is the infringement upon our rights. And it has happened. So you give these people an inch, they're going to take a mile. So some final thoughts. Omicron could be the thing that's stopping this whole entire charade right now. So thank God we're going to get to natural immunity. So take a look at a lot of things that are happening all over. Europe is now freeing up. They're ending restrictions like crazy. And a lot of the blue state governors that have caused this inflation crisis, this job loss, this whatever, with all their draconian policies, now they're starting to ease up. So we're still under the command of Lord Inslee over here in Washington State. But he's a buffoon, so we'll see what happens anyways. We'll see if people start waking it up. So I'm back. Thank you guys for reaching out. Thanks for everything. Always remember this. Stand up for liberty. Don't be afraid to challenge that narrative. Until the next time, thank you guys so much for being a part of the Nino G Show. Next episode, we'll probably hit the Genocide Olympics or talk about foreign policy here. Thanks so much. Take care.